I still have yet to see Moon all the way through.
You piece of crap.
I've tried.
Go to jail.
It's like my body.
Go to jail.
It's like my body knows. Oh, you're watching this movie again? Good night.
You've Pavlovian trained your body.
Exactly.
You like video games. You like movies. You like CBA. You love CBA. Welcome to CBA.
Welcome to CBA podcast. I am Tyler McKinley.
I'm Tyler Harris.
And I'm Mike.
And just Mike.
That's in all caps if you're Googling it.
That's Mike!
With a lowercase I.
And the E silent.
This is brought to you by the Children's Bolivian Alterations Program.
Yep.
And we got some news for you from the world of the interweb and the media and films and movies and stuff. And games. Specifically with games. So, with Star Wars Celebration this week.
Yes.
It is only appropriate that we start out with some Star Wars stuff. And the game Star Wars Battlefront, the new one from EA, they came out some information. They're doing an update along with some other DLC. I wasn't quite clear from the article I read if you have to purchase the DLC to get this.
I hope not.
But there's a new standalone mode where it's an offline mode where you can play by yourself or co-op with a friend, split screen, and you just play against bots.
Yeah.
See, and that's... I love that.
So I passed on this game because I played the beta and I was just disgusted. I was like, this looks really pretty, but
It is very pretty.
it's just not. It's not the old Battlefront. It
Yeah.
doesn't feel. And what it does new, it doesn't do well enough for me to want to be in it. And then it's only multiplayer online.
Yeah.
So I didn't even get it. But you, Tyler Harris, you got it, right?
Yeah. Well, and we talked about this, I think, in our first episode, was the idea that Battlefront knew that people loved old Battlefront, and the things they chose to bring from old Battlefront to new Battlefront were exactly the wrong things to bring from old Battlefront. And this is what I wish had been in the game from the beginning. If this had been in the game from the beginning, I would probably still be playing Battlefront
we would be
on
in
and
your
off.
house right now.
Yeah, we would be playing. Because that's the nostalgia part of Battlefront that they probably should have capitalized on at the beginning. And the idea of dropping into a map where you're playing split screen with a friend against 16 bots, doing what you would do in the multiplayer mode, because they have a single player mode in Battlefront.
Yeah.
But it's not the Battlefront game structure.
No, it sucks.
Yeah,
It's like this
it's real
weird
bad.
wave-based thing. But Mike,
Yeah.
you played some of it, right?
I did. I played it a lot at my in-laws, and again, before, I loved the old Battlefront, and I loved how on Battlefront 2 you could be heroes, and in this new one, it's like you're competing online to be a hero. You couldn't just select a certain hero, and their heroes were very limited. I didn't like that a whole lot, but I'm super excited that they're going back to this bot aspect, because the one thing I did like about the new Battlefront is how massive the maps were. You could play 40 on 40, and it was, or was it 20 on 20? 20.
Yeah.
So 40 people total, and it's awesome. The maps they're huge. I love the new levels, the multiplayer levels they had, but I just got super frustrated with all those 12-year-olds that's all they do, and so I get killed the second I play. And so that pisses me off about any online game.
Mike has a history of beating up children.
I do, and it just they annoy me.
It's out there now.
It's out there. That's why I didn't put my last name.
No, but so I didn't get it. So this is actually kind of changing my mind. If I can get it for if I can get it for $25 maybe or 30, I might go pick it up and actually play some of it.
Yeah.
While I'm in between games, So
And it's a good in-between game. It's a fun game like that.
And I think playing split screen is really awesome, and I'm really excited about that.
Yeah. The
Unless you have a
only
small
thing
TV.
that would make this update even better is if for offline stuff they remove rank restrictions, because that's another thing. Is it because it is a multiplayer only game? There are certain things you can only access once you've gotten to level 50.
Yeah, like the Black
whatever.
Stormtrooper.
Yeah, like I would like to see if you're playing offline, those restrictions be dropped and kind of let you build custom modes and maps. Not maps, but you know what I mean, like custom restraints and rules and stuff.
Dude, what would make it great if they brought back Galactic Conquest?
Oh my gosh. And it can't be that hard.
No,
it couldn't be that hard to
it's
drop
like the
Galactic
easiest-
Conquest in.
That's like a month of work, maybe.
Yeah.
Like less than that.
You could take a still picture of just a galactic map with like a few big dots on it and flash animate a ship on top of it, and I would be fine with that.
Yeah.
It's like not the visual thing, you know what I mean? I just want to drop into those maps and
Exactly.
conquer them planets.
Yeah.
So
I'm all for that. Cool. Other changes that are coming. Speaking of any sort of patches or DLC or anything.
oh, we're
Talk
going
about-
to multiplayer online games that don't suck. Is that what we're moving?
Yes,
to?
that's what we're moving
okay,
to.
cool. Yeah.
So the segue was multi-online player, but there's then the sucked and the not sucking, and that is Overwatch, which I have been playing a ridiculous amount of. Still, it's still
Still
consuming my life.
If you have overlooked Overwatch, you have made a mistake. Go
You have
remedy that
overreached your
situation.
bounds and over.
go over,
Don't feel
and-
overwhelmed. Just Overwatch.
and go over to your local GameStop.
And don't pay
Reach over the counter. All right, we're done with that.
That segment
add a
is
couple more.
over, or is it?
So
get it.
competitive mode came out, and it has consumed my life. I think it's a little broken,
Yeah.
but I still can't help myself. I keep playing. I still scream at my TV really loud and get really upset when I'm losing because it means so much more now that I have a competitive ranking.
Yeah.
But
Oh.
along with that, they're bringing in some changes. First of all, they're bringing in a new character.
Yeah.
Anna, I don't know how you pronounce the new one. Anna.
Anna?
And it's,
Have you watched the gameplay footage of her yet?
I haven't watched it. No,
Okay.
I read about it. Apparently, she's Farrah's mom.
Yeah.
She's a healing sniper. And so, you want to explain?
It looks
That's
cool.
pretty sweet.
I'm really excited. Like, when she comes out, I'll definitely be playing a lot of her. I like playing support anyways.
Yeah.
But yeah, they showed off some really cool stuff because basically you heal people by shooting them. You also have grenades
So
that
if
are
you miss,
biotic
you're not
grenades.
healing them? Like, if you're
Well,
a
yeah.
crappy shot, you can't heal anyone.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Alright.
they can't make it completely easy.
Shoot in the
But
general area.
but that's the thing. So if you
Oh,
shoot
do-
enemies, you do
speaking of which,
damage. If you shoot
Do
your
we know if
teammates,
headshots heal more?
I don't know. I
That would
actually
be
don't know that.
interesting.
Yeah, that would be interesting. She also has biotic grenades. I can't remember what her ultimate is. I don't know if I saw that.
I don't know
or
if I
not.
saw that either, actually.
But she looks cool, and I think it's gonna bring like.
Cool, you mean hot? Or cool?
Where did you even get that?
What?
Now we need to clarify. She looks cool as in a cool character to play. And she could bring a cool dynamic.
Yeah, she looks like it looks like it's gonna. I'm interested. to
I'm sorry,
see-
did you just say by cool do you mean hot? Because that's just
It's, I don't know.
No one does.
because that's just funny on like a pun aspect alone too.
I'm excited to see how this shifts the balance of the game a little bit. If I'm mostly interested because this is the first new character that we've seen. Like, I mean, this launch came after tons and tons of beta tests and balance changes and stuff. And I know that I think she's actually available to play on PC right now.
Oh really?
Yeah, if you have Overwatch on PC. But I'm interested to see if there are major things that need to be patched with the addition of her, if they're going to be
Yeah.
kind of how that rebalancing is going
Because
to go.
she sounds a little overpowered to me.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
overpowered.
It'll
Yeah.
be it'll be interesting, but I am excited because it is like it's a support character that you can play from a distance, which
Yeah.
there aren't really any of
No,
those.
Zenyatta a little bit, but
Yeah.
it's,
I
it's-
definitely cannot
I
play him
can't.
from a distance.
I can't play Zenyatta up close, so I can't.
Yeah.
He's tough for me.
So I'm interested to see kind of how that works, and if she does become, I think that idea alone, like the distance alone, could make her a really huge threat
Yeah.
on on the opposing team. So.
I agree too. Along with the new character, they're bringing some new updates. They're making some changes to some characters like Diva. Her defense matrix thing is no longer going to be an ability that cools down. Really, it's going to be more like Reinhardt's shield. where it's like it can
got like a
slowly
capacity
recharge.
or
It's got like a meter that constantly, when you're not using it, it's recharging.
Interesting.
And then also her ult is going to be able, it detonates 1 second faster.
Oh.
Because I feel like now that we've all gotten used to it online, everyone's
pretty easy
getting
to
out of
get
the
away
way.
from, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't really do as much as it should. So
And you don't have to put that much between you and the explosion to survive,
No.
really. So, but anyways.
But yeah, and so that's coming. Mercy's ult, she's going to be able to move while she's rezzing people now, as opposed to having to stand there and
Super
getting
cool.
shot. So
Yeah.
I play a lot of Mercy, so that's helpful. What else is there? Self-healing abilities have a longer cooldown rate. So
I think that's
like
good,
Roadhog.
especially for Roadhog.
I hate
yeah.
Roadhog, how much he can heal.
Soldier 76 also,
Yeah.
but less so than Roadhog.
Roadhog
for
just
sure.
that was my biggest complaint about balancing was that. So, and then in competitive mode, they're not going to allow duplicate characters. So there can't be 2 of the same character. As soon as someone picks a character, no one else on your team can be that character.
Yeah.
Which I have mixed feelings about, but they're more positive for me.
Yeah. I guess it. Yeah, I also have mixed feelings because I played competitive the other night. We were playing on Watchpoint Gibraltar,
Yeah.
and like we didn't do very well on offense, and so then we were on defense, and I chose Reinhardt, and someone else chose Reinhardt, and I think in my mind I'm always like, we shouldn't have more than one. Like that's in my mind. I feel like that. But
apparently that was in
really-
everyone else's mind too.
Yeah.
It's like
But it ended up being like a really effective strategy, and I was playing Reinhardt differently than I had ever played him, and stuff like that. And so, yeah, I'm a little. I mean, I understand with the way competitive mode is now, and the idea that essentially you're being match made, but you're going to be playing with a bunch of random people.
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense. But there's still an aspect to competitive Overwatch where I'm like, if you've got a team of people and you want to build a strategy around that, like,
Yeah.
you should be able to.
I
know what
agree.
I mean?
I feel like they should limit it to
that
2.
is true.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's annoying when there's like 6 of one character.
Yeah.
But sometimes the strategy you need. Sometimes you need 2 Reinhardts.
Yeah.
And like that's a strategy. I feel like.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's where my negative feelings about it come in.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's.
no, I just yeah.
All right. Yeah. But there's also some other changes. We won't go into all of them, but just there's going to be a pretty hefty patch. It sounds like coming in. I'm interested to see what that does.
Yeah.
Our last bit from News Corner, we would be out of the loop if we didn't mention the elephant in the world right now.
Oh my god.
And that would be Pokemon Go.
Pokemon.
So, by raise of hands, and by raise of hands I mean sounding off, because we're on a podcast, who has Pokemon Go on their phone?
I do.
You do?
What?
Yeah. What?
I told you. I played it like I downloaded the day it came out, and I'm still level 1. I think. I caught a couple Pokemon. I played enough Pokemon Go to know from
That
the
it sucks.
hour and a half that I also spent with Ingress like 3 years ago that it's not a game for me.
Yeah.
which makes me feel bad because apparently it's a game for everyone.
Facebook
Yeah.
thinks this.
Well, so for me, I don't think it's like I'm fine with like people playing and liking getting into Pokemon
Yeah, I'm
and stuff,
cool
but for me it's
No,
like
I'm not. I'm not at all.
we know. And everyone else is about to know in a second. But yeah, like I'm fine. I think I just don't feel like it's not the Pokemon game I wanted it to be, and I'm kind of glad it's not because it would consume my life
Yeah.
and all my gas money. But what I wanted to be like the old Pokemon games, at least the old ones, like, and have it so you can actually battle other people with a set of moves. I wanted it to be an RPG mixed with the
Real life.
like geocaching type elements of it, and it's not. It's just like the Google Mapsing, walking around, tracking stuff, and then there's battles, but it's just tapping your screen and stuff, and it's like, and you can't fight other trainers really, and so because of that and like evolving, you feed them candy. I want experience points. I want moves.
Yeah.
Like
Feeding in subcultural obesity.
I feel like that's the big downfall of it for me, and I feel like that's why I'll never get into it. And honestly, I'm kind of grateful because I have so many other things. Like we just talked about Overwatch. Like I play a lot of Overwatch, plus all the stuff we do with and all the work I'm doing. So I'm grateful. It's not what I wanted it to be technically, but I'm also a little let down.
Well, and I was, because we talked about this the other night, I was thinking about the Pokemon game that you want, and that is a tough game to make when you think about it. Like, the idea of leveling up, because if you think about Pokemon as a game, it does follow that RPG funnel. Like, you're constantly being funneled to stronger areas where people are matched on your ability.
Yeah.
And so the idea of building something like that where it's like, I mean, that's why we have online matchmaking now. You know what I mean? Because it's a lot harder to find someone who's maybe exactly your level or in your skill, whatever, you know, if you're based on like RPG and stuff. And so yeah, I think that is a much harder game to make. I do agree that that's the better game.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a harder game to make for the general public.
Yeah.
I feel like I can see that being a risky move. Going, we're gonna make an RPG to try and get everyone to play an RPG.
Yeah.
I can see that being commercially tough, but with how much it's taken over, I think they could have done and still have been.
I think they could
just
have
successful,
but I don't know that it would have launched as well. Like, part of the reason so many people are playing it is because it is so easy. There's not really a huge commitment to it, honestly. Yeah. And so I think that launching a Pokemon game like that is more of a game becomes a lot less enticing to a developer. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
And like, especially launching a free to play anything. You know what I mean? Like,
I agree.
So, but yeah, it's kind of a bummer all around because I don't think it's a good like Pokemon game.
It's a terrible Pokemon.
Don't think that it's a great game. Either. It's great. Like, the stories I hear are super cool. Like, that's cool that all this weird dumb stuff is happening.
I think it's super funny to just see like masses of people, or you see like people like in the same areas. Like, because I went out with my wife's family, and while we were doing it, apparently my sister was out with her boyfriend playing, and then like while we were in this parking lot, we saw like 6 cars pull up, just full of people with phones out, running around. And you know exactly what they're all doing.
Yeah.
That's so...
And it's just like this weird sort of community. And it's fun.
Yeah. It's kind of a fun cultural moment. I'm interested to see how long it lasts.
It's bringing back the nostalgia of the old Pokemon games, I think. Like, everyone I know playing it is in our generation. That are, like, huge. Yeah.
Because I know, like, a lot of people are playing it.
Well, I know a lot of people are playing it, but I'm saying, like, older people are playing it. And so it's bringing back the whole old Pokemon Red, Blue, Yellow, Green aspect to it, but like you were saying, it's kind of a letdown because it's not as nostalgic as we thought it would be.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. Like, us too. Like, we played games when we were younger, and we still play games now. And so, like, my idea of what makes a good video game and what I want to spend my time playing now is much different than like these guys I work with who played Pokemon until they were 12 and don't play video games anymore. You know what I mean? Or maybe play Call of Duty every now and then.
Yeah, definitely.
And so it is a different. I feel like I find myself in a bit of a unique position too. I don't know.
No, I'm there with you. But Mike, what you've been itching over here to spill your guts out about Pokemon Go.
Well, after listening to Tyler, I kind of mellowed out a little. I did. But I don't know. I have a hard time with app games in general. I've gotten so many of them, trying to like them, and I either like them and get consumed of them, like Clash Royale, and get pissed off, or they're gonna consume me too much, or they're just dumb. And this is just one of those dumb apps, I feel, and it annoys me how much of a trend it is. Because next week we're probably not gonna hear anything about Pokemon Go, unless they come.
I wouldn't go that far.
Update.
Maybe in 2 months.
But it's a very trendy.
I mean,
app.
once No Man's Sky comes out, everyone's gonna put down Pokemon Go and be playing No Man's Sky, right?
Everyone's gonna put down life.
Am I right? Yeah.
It's literally the beginning.
We're gonna be leaving our universe in a few short weeks. 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 2.5 weeks.
Not soon enough.
Yeah, not soon enough. Not today. That's for sure.
Cool. Well, that wraps up the news corner. And Mike, do you know the intro for the next segment?
I don't.
Okay. Do you want to hit us off?
Oh, you mean
Does it-
hello, the media?
Thank you. And hello, the media.
That's right, I remember.
We talk about all the different
Medias.
media we've consumed in the past little bit since the last podcast, which was a while ago.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So we won't talk about everything, but we do want to touch on some things. Let's start out with the game Inside, because I completed that this week. I wrote a review on it this morning, and we should be posting it. And when the website launches, it'll be up there. You were almost done with it.
I think, yeah.
And have you heard of Inside, Mike? Do you know what it is?
No, I've heard of Inside Out.
Well, that's a movie.
Yeah, it's
so
not
it's the same
that.
thing.
Okay.
Have you played Limbo, or do you know what Limbo is?
Yes, Limbo. I love Limbo. That was one of those app games that I did love.
Okay, so it's by the same guys who
Yes.
made Limbo.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
I'm down with that.
it's awesome. It's really dark, really got... there's just too many things.
That's what I loved about Limbo. It's super dark and kind of dark.
Yeah. Yeah, so like, this... So, I want you to talk about like what you were talking about earlier, about
It's called
like,
Inside?
how the kind of the relation between the two.
Oh, yeah.
Are they
So
connected?
playing Inside, yeah. So playing Inside feels, mechanically, it feels very similar to Limbo. It's visually way more polished.
And Limbo was pretty shiny too.
Yeah,
That's
it's
the
only
thing.
on PC and Xbox One
It's not
right
an
now.
app. Ugh.
But yeah, it feels after I got about an hour into Inside, Limbo felt like the game that this developer made to prepare them to make Inside. Because man, I don't know if I've played a game in a while that feels as mechanically tight or visually appealing as Inside. It is an impressive game. But yeah, and it shares a lot of the same narrative kind of tools that Limbo uses.
Yeah.
A couple of those I want to talk about for sure. The movement again feels really great. It feels like, I mean, you're playing as a young boy again, and it feels like his movement feels very fitting to that. Like
Yeah.
Is that it?
he doesn't
That's not
move
it.
like a
No?
he doesn't move like a normal character, I think, or a character that I'm super familiar with playing. And so that was one thing I really loved. And again, like death plays an interesting role in this game, like it did in Limbo.
There's some morbid deaths in Limbo.
Yeah,
I was like,
and I think for me, I think that Limbo had the more, I don't know if graphic is the right word.
Limbo had more disturbing, like in a kind of more gory deaths.
Yeah,
But Inside, since it takes a little step more towards realism.
yeah, they're
And
still
so-
very visceral.
So yeah, so it's a little more. Even though they're less graphic, they still feel just as gritty.
Yeah.
And disturbing almost. Like,
yeah, I'm thinking in particular of the one. I don't know how much, I don't want to like give anything away, but when you first encounter the long-haired,
Yes.
That-
Okay.
that
there's
death
a
animation.
recurring character in this. Did you run into the spider in Limbo? Mike?
Yeah.
There's another recurring character like that.
Is it kind of a short game like Limbo?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like
See,
4
I
hours.
love games like that.
Yeah.
It's just,
Yeah, and I think that length
Love-
works as a strength for this game.
yeah, for sure.
did for Limbo.
So something I mentioned in my review is this game. Its storytelling mechanic is very much. There's no dialogue. There's no menus to tell you what to do. You start off just like Limbo.
You just
No
get in the
direction.
sauce.
You just start and you just go. And it's a really good method of storytelling, of showing but not telling.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, and I think that goes back to mechanics too, because it's a game you play with 2 buttons.
Yeah.
Essentially, you play with 2 buttons
Move
and
and jump,
and
an
a
action
stick.
button.
Yeah, an action button and a jump button.
Move.
And yet, building that into something where it feels fresh and new every time
Yeah.
you come into a new environment, man.
I think a big
So
part of that
good.
too is just there's this tone to this game that is so dark and so mysterious. You know something's wrong. You want to find out kind of what's going on with it, and it just keeps pushing towards the end. And each kind of set piece in each area just raises more questions, but kind of reveals a little bit more at the same time. There's great puzzle solving in this game, and something Tyler Harris and I were talking about was some of the puzzles are really big. You have to go to lots of areas to solve one puzzle, but they never felt overwhelming. It was like it almost does right when you first walk in. You're like, oh, I'm still going here to try and solve this
Yeah.
puzzle, but that goes away pretty quick, and it actually makes it a really cool experience to try and go to all these spots, get these different pieces, bring them to other pieces, and then I really love the puzzles in this game.
It sounds like they took the good parts of Limbo and just expanded on them.
Yeah. It definitely feels like it's from the same developer.
Yeah.
Well, I love that. It's kind of like, it's not a sequel, but you kind of feel like it could be.
It's like a spiritual successor.
Exactly. It's like a spin-off type.
So I was telling him. So there's 2 endings to this game.
2 endings? Whoa!
You collect. Mind blowing. Never has happened before in the history of gaming, and you're hearing it first here. So you collect these orbs. You collect all the orbs. There's a secret ending, and it's really short, and it's technically a happier ending, I guess. It's very vague.
Limbo's ending was vague. I was like, what the hell?
See, I loved Limbo's ending, and like to me, like I might not be interpreting it right, but the way I interpreted it, it made sense and it felt very satisfying. Yeah. That's one of my very few gripes with this game is while the original ending for me is the better one, but it's still not as satisfying. Like I didn't get closure to anything.
Yeah,
I didn't get closure with Limbo really.
See, I felt like there was for me, but that's I guess my personal taste with it. For this one, you're gonna probably not think this one at all because the finale's awesome. There's this awesome finale, and then where it just ends, you're just kind of like, what? Really? Like
just kind of bleh.
Yeah, and so the alternate ending I think is supposed to be kind of be like maybe the real ending, but it's not. It's so short that it's like
that couldn't be the real ending.
It didn't feel any better to me.
Interesting.
But yeah, when you finish it, and then do you have a PC that can play it?
I don't know. My PC's freaking out after I try to look up Overwatch shit. So.
So yeah, if you can, you should download it and play it because it's awesome.
Yeah,
just wait a little while and get on my phone.
And the other thing about this game I wanted to say is like
sideways.
It really is. There's some really breathtaking moments in this game that it was like. I thought of Uncharted 4. Like there were so many times in Uncharted 4 where I was like, "Holy cow, that's like!" And it was just like this awesome. Like it opens up into this huge vista, and you see like the valley or the pirate city in Uncharted 4, and like these really huge moments. And I had some of those same experiences playing Inside. Like something would happen, and it was just like
Inside's
so
like back
gratifying.
and forth, right? Just
yeah,
like
side scroller, yeah.
Side scroller, that's it.
But yeah, it's real good.
Yeah.
Play it.
So that's amazing. Like it's a good game when, like you're saying, you have these breathtaking moments, like that. Like they literally, it's an experience.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know how it's.
That's exactly what I said in my review. It's a game that I haven't played a game in a while that's really made me feel very strongly and like just any sort of emotion.
Yeah.
And this one, it wasn't like it didn't like make me sad or happy or anything, but it made me like just kind of get this weird kind of eerie but interesting feeling.
Yeah.
Throughout like the whole thing, like very strongly too. So like, and the ending is definitely that way. It's kind of this uncomfortable like feeling, and it's just really refreshing to have something that's so simple be so effective.
Yeah,
exactly. I don't want to just clarify. Just because I didn't have like closure with Limbo doesn't mean I didn't enjoy it. Like for some reason that was like that's part of it.
Yeah,
and that's kind of why it made it so intriguing. And I went down playing it again. It's like. Yeah. It's a game. It's a game I can keep playing over and over and still.
It can be a really compelling way to end.
It is.
I think.
Yeah, and I think it's supposed to be. It's kind of supposed to be kind of more open to interpretation. I think
symbolic.
But yeah. Anyway, we've talked a lot about video games. Let's move on to some films, which we've seen a few since the last podcast. Have we seen anything good? Is the question. So
no, we haven't. Nothing. Why are the good movies?
We saw Swiss Army Man. Mike, have you seen Swiss Army Man?
No, and I talked with Tyler about that, and I was like, I was really excited about it, but after listening to him, I'm like, that's probably going to be a red box.
Yeah,
it's so sad.
We did our review on it, so we don't talk too much about it, but it was a letdown. Really cool. Some production stuff was really cool with it. There were moments. There were moments that showed a lot of potential.
Yeah.
But then the rest of it just felt really dumbed down and really shallow. Just no.
See, and like, who's the main guy? That's Daniel Radcliffe and who?
Paul Dano.
That's his name. Like he does some great stuff. Like I loved him in Looper. He was Ruby Sparks' guy, right?
Yeah.
He was great in Ruby Sparks.
I think he's great in Ruby Sparks.
Yeah.
But it's like, and so it's like I could watch it for him. Daniel Radcliffe's in a lot of weird crap.
We thought this was his best.
Yeah, we talked about this.
Really.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is probably gonna like Horns. I never saw that because I'm like, what the heck? Women in Black, Harry Potter. It's just weird. But it's like this one, I was super excited because I'm like, this could be a good potential Daniel Radcliffe movie.
Yeah.
But you guys, you said that was his best performance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
anyways, watch that review if you want to see us talk about it for
we got a
longer.
sweet Double Gentleman review up.
Yeah.
Double Gentleman. So classy.
All right, so then you also I saw Finding Dory. Have we all seen Finding Dory?
I have not.
I saw it.
Okay.
But you guys have.
So I felt that Finding Dory was not needed whatsoever.
It definitely was not needed.
It shows kind of in the movie. Like, here's what I felt like. The vibe I got from it was the higher ups at Disney and Pixar were like, we need a sequel to Finding Dory.
I know.
And the writers are like, well, we don't really need it, but if you want it, I can try something.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like it was like a gifted writer who did what they could with it.
And it was good. It was really good for a Pixar movie. But I'll let you finish.
I expect a higher quality from Pixar. Like,
exactly.
They started going downhill when Brave came out. Brave and Cars were their first ones that didn't.
Cars was fun.
I didn't think were good movies. I thought all their others were good movies or great movies.
Mm-hmm.
These were their first bad movies, and since then they've released some not so great movies. Finding Dory wasn't a bad movie by any means, but
exactly.
it just felt like
it's not Pixar quality.
It felt like we were just kind of getting forced along to try and get to like the next encounter type of thing, whereas like all the in between stuff just felt. Ugh.
That's what I'm worried about with Disney in general. Is they're buying all these different aspects, Pixar, Marvel, now they have Star Wars. It's like they're just pumping out these products without really worrying about quality. They're more focused on quantity, and that's what I kind of felt like with Finding Dory, and now they're coming out with Toy Story 4. I'm like, just let these things be the pieces of great art that they were before.
Yeah.
Stop trying to add on, do this, like you were saying, J.K. Rowling post-authorship shit. It's like, stop.
Well, and it's interesting you say that because I think, in some ways, the last few years, Disney Animation Studios has been consistently pretty amazing.
Inside Out was
Wreck-It
great.
Ralph.
Wreck-It Ralph was great. Inside Out.
Well, those are two different things. Pixar
Yeah.
and Disney Animation Studios are two different things.
Yeah.
They're,
so, and even Zootopia. Did you see Zootopia?
I didn't see Zootopia.
I saw 15
Man,
minutes.
Zootopia
I
was
saw
good.
15 minutes of it, and I was like, I can watch this.
So I saw the same trailer, the Sloth trailer for Zootopia, so many times.
It's so bad.
That
I thought it was funny.
Oh, really?
Well, the first time I saw it, I did laugh at the part where he starts laughing in slow motion.
Ha.
But I saw it like 16 times.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Well, okay.
I am done. I don't even want to see this movie. But like, obviously that's not like a fair way to go into it. But I did see, like, I never want to see Frozen. What I've seen of Frozen looks terrible. I saw Big Hero 6. I thought Big Hero 6 was not a good movie.
It was alright.
I thought it was...
Fall Out Boy was probably the best aspect of that movie.
That is not a ringing endorsement.
So
See, I think
Fall Out Boy.
I think Big Hero 6, Wreck-It Ralph, Zootopia, Frozen, I think those movies have been better than, like, I finally saw The Good Dinosaur.
Oh my gosh,
Not
it was
good.
so bad.
It's a bad dinosaur.
And I think, I don't know what it is lately with Pixar. I thought Inside Out was good too. I liked it.
I thought Inside Out
wait,
was actually really strong.
Isn't that's Pixar though, right?
Yeah, that's Pixar.
not Disney Animation.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is Good Dinosaurs Pixar as well. And so it's
was
been
it?
interesting. I feel like there's been kind of this trading places for the last couple of years where like Disney's animation studios have been consistently, for me, like really strong.
Well, I think they're more financially successful too.
Yeah, I think so.
I could be wrong on that, but
I don't think Good Dinosaur did well.
no,
at the
that
box office.
did not do
No,
well
it
at
did.
all.
It kind of went.
They didn't. I think they
out.
knew it too because
Yeah.
the marketing wasn't pushed very hard.
No.
It kind of just popped out.
And it had been in development hell for like 4 years.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I know that they
sucks.
completely rewrote the script about a year before it came out, and
Yeah.
John Lithgow had to come in and re-record a bunch of
It's
stuff.
interesting because I've been reading Creativity Inc. and that's from the president of Pixar, the founder of Pixar, and it's basically his story of Pixar.
Is it John Lasseter or Ed Catmull?
Ed Catmull. And he talks about the creation of Pixar and how focused they were on quality, and they rewrote Toy Story 2. Toy Story 2 was originally going to be straight to video, VHS or whatever, but they're like, no, we want a sequel that actually does well, and so they rewrote Toy Story 2 a few times, and they're focused more on quality rather than quantity. They're doing a movie at a time, but now it's the opposite. I feel, and that's what I worried about.
They have announced that they're not doing any more sequels for like the foreseeable future.
Well, they have Incredibles 2 announced for
no, after, so once like the ones that have been announced, once they come out, they said they don't have any.
Well, that's good.
Planned, and I think that's a good thing. I think they kind of realize they need to get back to Pixar's glory days,
and I hope they do. I really hope they do. There's a lot of potential there in that studio. So,
cool. You want to talk a little bit about a show you watched recently?
Speaking of hot Disney animation properties, this show, Gravity Falls, people. Holy cow! Have you heard of Gravity Falls? I know you've heard of Gravity Falls, right,
I've seen
Tyler?
a couple episodes. Yeah.
Mike, have you heard of Gravity Falls?
I think I've heard of the word gravity and falls, but not in the same sentence.
Okay, you put them together, what you get is a crazy, awesome show that is on Disney XD.
You told me about this last time.
Yeah,
and I was like,
so
Disney, really?
This show is over
it.
now. This show is 40 episodes long,
and that's done.
And it's over.
You sure?
Yes, it
is
done.
It has an overarching narrative.
Yeah,
and
ends.
The guy who made it was like, I didn't want it to go on and on. I wanted there to be an end to the story. And so he just ended it 3 seasons.
Yeah, about halfway through the first season, he told Disney he was only doing 30 more episodes.
Good.
And they were like, cool, I guess there's only going to be 30 more episodes, which is awesome of them.
Yeah.
Good for them for doing that.
Yeah.
This show is like, man, it is like Twin Peaks for kids with like all of the best humor. Well, there's a lot of stuff coming out. Like, I mean, we're talking about Stranger Things, Twin Peaks. Anyways,
Atlanta.
But it is, man, it's so fun, and it's so well written, and there's a lot of really goofy,
right?
dumb. Yeah, oh yeah, it's definitely
That's
cartoon.
what blows my mind.
It's a lot of really goofy, dumb things that you'd expect, but so much more underneath also that they build and earn. All these great relationships, and especially like the relationship between Dipper and Mabel, who are the two main characters, who are brother and sister, who are twins. Basically, so I'm going to give the premise. They're sent by their parents to spend the summer with their great uncle Stan, who owns this tourist trap place called the Mystery Shack in Gravity Falls, Oregon. But they get there, and there's all these weird things that happen in Gravity Falls, and kind of this mystery that they end up solving. Mostly in the second season, but yeah, man, it's really fun. You guys should definitely watch it.
On Netflix?
It is on Hulu.
It's on Hulu.
Yeah, the entire series is on Hulu.
It's probably on Amazon Prime too.
Is it on the free Hulu stuff, or do you have to have?
I don't know. I think you probably have to have a subscription.
Okay, because I've seen 2 episodes, and I think they were both in the first seain, and so there was no like overarching narrative going on. It was just the standalones. I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
Second episode I saw wasn't as funny. But I did enjoy the first episode. But it wasn't what I was expecting hearing about the overarching narrative going on.
Right.
But
and a lot of that doesn't come in till the second season.
Yeah.
Kind of like the first season is very much more episodic, kind of tied together by similar things. Yeah. But then kind of the way the first season ends is what really sets up kind of the mystery and stuff.
I'm definitely going to want to watch it.
Yeah, it's fun.
Interesting.
Is that coming out on Blu-ray at all?
I don't know. I think that people are trying to get like a Blu-ray collection, because I think there's a series of shorts that he did also that aren't on Hulu.
Gotcha.
But yeah, it's a great show. It's real fun.
Cool. All right. Well, that brings us to our last segment of the challenges. I didn't think of mine actually.
I just barely thought of one.
Gravity Falls. You guys have got to watch Gravity Falls.
All right. That was already in my list. But, my turn?
Yep.
Cool. We didn't really talk about this, but the new Independence Day. You guys need to see it. Like, if you liked the old Independence Day.
I think I do. I haven't
like,
seen it in so long.
I haven't seen it since like
that was one of
elementary school.
Childhood movies of mine. I was like, I loved that movie growing up. And the new one, it was a good, like I said, tasteful sequel. Like, it added to it perfectly, chronologically. Like, it's good.
Interesting. Yeah,
I like it. Right. If you like the old one,
you write these down.
Falls of Gravity.
Gravity Falls. Independence Day. Is that what are the
Resurgence?
Resurgence.
IDR. Welcome to Earth. They didn't have that quote. And so, like, they have...
Didn't have that actor either.
They have... Oh, no. They have his picture. They have his picture. And they have his
That's
son.
all they could
We
afford.
all have his picture.
Got it up on my wall, above my fireplace right now.
Oh, but they have his son. That was the one thing I didn't like about that movie, honestly. Was Will Smith's character's son. He was, like, all the, like, kind of cocky, negative aspects of that character, or Will Smith, put in this character without the fun charm of Will Smith. Like, I did not like his character at all.
So
That's the one thing.
It was like Will Smith's character, but no Fresh Prince was along for the
Yeah,
ride.
basically. No. He did punch someone, but that was it. And I was like, the only thing they carried over from generation to generation was the
The thing
punching.
I want most when I see Will Smith on screen, like whenever he's on screen, I'm like, who's about to get punched?
Someone's getting hit.
Someone is
Someone's
kinda
jaw-
Suicide
close.
Squad, you
breaking.
know someone's going to get hit.
Yeah, Concussion was disappointing.
I never saw it because I was like...
It's the consequences of all those movies.
I'm trying to think of a challenge I can give you guys.
I can't accept it. I'm telling you.
Finish inside.
Oh, for
Play
sure.
inside?
I will be finishing inside.
Play
Done.
inside, even if you have to come over to one of our houses to play it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, just come over, we'll play inside and try not to spoil things for you because I'll get too excited.
Yeah, I don't know if I can. I had a hard time watching him play, and I was having a hard time not telling him how to solve puzzles.
Puzzle. That's one thing of Limbo. The puzzles were... Sometimes you get frustrated. Not so frustrated you have to delete the app or game. But you just put
Look
it down.
at you, Clash Royale.
I know. You just put it to the side and you come back with a fresh brain. Boom. So I love puzzle games like that. So
Yeah, it's a good game.
inside.
All right, well that concludes episode 4, and we're gonna.
This is the new trilogy. We closed the book on the last trilogy, so if you're starting with
saga.
this episode, there's no need to go back. This is a fresh trilogy.
Fresh trilogy.
Who knows? It might turn into a quartet. I'm not even sure.
Cool. Well, let's round robin a goodbye, shall we?
Okay.
All right. It
Is
Not
the
beginning
or
the
beginning
of
this.
podcast.
It's the end. All right.
CBA loves you. Goodbye.